Hello, everyone. My name is Lexi, otherwise known as Black Girl Mage. This is Strix U. We're going to dive into the story right now, but first I want to toss it around to my players to introduce who they are and who they are playing. To start, let's go with Austin.
Hey, my name's Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. I'm playing Lamar. His pronouns are he, they.
CJ.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm going to be playing Amethyst, she, her.
Izzy.
Hello, I'm Izzy. Pronouns are she, they. I'll be playing Jay, whose pronouns are also she, they.
Liv.
Hi, I'm Liv. I use she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Anaya, who uses she, her.
Sam.
Hey everyone, I'm Sam. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Soleil Kennedy, who uses they, them pronouns.
And Wally.
Sup, I'm Wally. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm playing Dante Bloodforge, who uses he, they pronouns.
Let's go ahead and dive into our story for tonight. We're going to begin on a zoomed out world of Achaia. Achaia is a land of burgeoning civilization. From one edge to the other, we see vitality, creativity, joy, darkness, dragons, secrets, innovation, and truth. But most of all, we see life. We pan across the nation at wicked speeds, whipping past magical forests and then snow-capped mountains, these technology-filled jungles, dragon-packed cities, and incomprehensible, fantastical magic. While we look at these irrevocably beautiful features, they whip past us until we get to the ocean's edge, where calm blue waves wash over us as we speed out to what seems like the middle of the ocean, separate from land, separate from life. Or so it seems, as a scaled tentacle lashes out of the ocean, just barely missing us. We zoom through a slippery set of its arms that shoots towards the camera, and we look skyward. We look up. Up in the air. This is where our story starts. Amidst bluish, purple, and orange sunsetted skies, we reach a tiny little speck that hangs out in the skyline, that slowly becomes a floating island. And just as we breach the horizon of this island, we fly ever onward where we see a familiar sight that comes into view. That's right, the one and only Strixhaven University. Welcome to Strix U Legacy Bound. Oh my gosh. Keep the party going, you know? We are flying in on this campus. This is a campus we know well. A lot has changed in a year, but we can still see Conjuro Hall in Prismari, where all of the students gather around a guest, the honored alumni, and her two partners, as she recreates her thesis, this enigmatic stroke of hot expression and perfection, as she creates living sculptures out of history-bound spirits. The students all applaud around her, and then we fly over to Quandrix, where we see an older Quandrix student that has just reluctantly walked up to the dorm, where a bunch of second years who forgot the incantation, the spell to actually open up the Quandrix living area. They are all standing outside. This one older student just like creates this fractal, impresses it in the door, and all of them spill in. We cut to Witherbloom, where their students already relinquished to doing bog work. This is where you go to get like detention and such. But they are slushing through this black tar-like mud as they pick herbs and cultivate creatures that will be used for experiments. But as we fly across these students, old and young alike, we notice banners slowly going up for homecoming. While also we see students traversing in costume, as it's the annual Harvest Light Festival. It's a celebration basically about the loss of light during the day while yielding bountiful harvests. Most people just call it Halloween. But this is where our story is going to begin, in a towering red wood. Large enough that as we start at the top of the tree and move down, we see 6 different floating rooms, belonging to each of our Strixhaven students. Sophomores before, now they are juniors. With orange lanterns aloft and floating lightning bugs, sturdy rope bridges connect from one side of the tree to the other, and we tilt further down the trunk of this tree until we begin where we began once before. But a little older, and hopefully a little wiser, we begin at a house party. Pounding bass immediately carries through the trunk of this tree, and like laser light beams stream out of the window as we see tons of costumes immediately giving off these like flashing tableaus of waves of students, but more specifically 3 of our Strixhaven students. So let me ask, starting with Soleil and Dante, as the light strobes on, introduce your character and tell me what your like freeze frame costume looks like. as the light casts you.
In typical Soleil fashion, you see them in the middle of hitting a blunt, and they're dressed as Shuri from Black Panther, right as they were fighting Killmonger. So they have the gauntlets, and the gauntlet, one of the gauntlets, it has like a pipe that's attached to it. So it's like the joint is just like sticking in the side. And they just hit from it, and then just immediately start going back to throwing ass. You know, parties are their favorite thing. While they're in the middle of, you know, having a good time, they are scanning the crowd, looking for a familiar face.
It's very interesting because you just forced me to make the entire Black Panther mythos completely canon in my world.
I'm going to make this hell.
Yeah, I know. With that, your gazing eyes, you look outwards looking for a familiar face. Across the room, you see Dante. Dante, describe yourself.
Dante is currently leaning on next to the countertop, and he is currently in a little conversation with Shivadri, and they are in a couple's costume. But it's one of those couples costumes that you wouldn't know it's a couple's costume unless you really ask them what the costume is. And what you see is Shivadri. She's wearing leather armor. On her back, she has a large broadsword on her back. And on her face, she has a purple stripe painted down the side of her face. Mm-hmm. Dante, on the other hand, all he's wearing is a pair of sweats, Tim's, and a shirt that says Boo on it, and a pair of little mouse ears on top of his head. And whenever someone comes up to him and asks him, what are you supposed to be? He looks at them and says, I'm an interdimensional space hamster.
Can I be a nerd?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go
and
ahead.
Just talk about how I had the card right on my desk.
Because Shivadri and Dante are dressed as Minsk and Boo.
This is another level of nerd things happening right here. This is another level.
I mean, look, it's D&D. They're canon. They're
D&D, and this is a magic. This is literally a magic set. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So you two are kind of on separate areas of the party, but as the music gets closer and closer, resumes back to its normal pulse, you realize that you're pretty close to each other. And yeah, you're among friends here.
I'm mushing.
As you absolutely should. As you absolutely should. I would love to see where Jay is in this party as well. So as the camera just pans across the room, who else do we see? Where are you and what are you doing currently?
I think that Jay has just entered and is doing that thing you do when you you peek your head in to look for friends first. Mm-hmm. But I think as she spies Soleil and Dante sort of across the way, she'll make her way into the room. And she is wearing, I'm going to say 1980s chic, sort of, if she was a 40-year-old woman. A lot of sort of neutral tones, a lot of earth tones in there. And then almost with wings on her back, she has a row of just picket fence links. And then a small picture of Denzel Washington pasted to one of them.
Don't make me do this.
And just a little bit of snot, just makeup snot dribbling from one nostril. And we'll just make her way over to Dante and Soleil. And is as she walks, is not even bothering to move the fence out of the way. It just sort of sorry. So I got a fence. Excuse me.
Izzy.
Come on, fences. Denzel, you want me to make Denzel?
Was he
Denzel
not?
Washington.
Right, come on, Lexi. That sounds like.
Come on,
Lexi, they're baiting you. You can ignore them.
Verisimilitude.
And I want to say specifically the line, And I'm gonna also go ahead and write it across the back of the fence links, and I'm standing right there with you. just to which she will say, I think, anytime someone approaches her, instead of like, "Hey, what are you?" she will just deliver that line.
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about. Actually, I feel like some people know, but everyone's afraid to approach.
Very niche.
That's
fine.
You have just
Soleil
yelled.
is dying.
Yes.
As soon as they see it, like immediately.
Immediately.
Dante just looks at you and goes, "Training day, nice."
Oh my gosh. Jay,
You didn't have to say the name of the movie. Now that's canon too. But
Yes, let's get it all in here.
No, the movie is not canon. The play is canon. It's just like a little tiny manuscript in the Strixhaven library that like all of the Prismari Silverquill students have to read. It's mandatory reading. Jay, before you actually make it over to your friends, you see they're over partying and they're laughing and like pointing at you and like very, very blatantly calling you over to them. But you also see, this person. They have these like long gold locks down their head, dark brown skin, bright golden eyes, and they seem to have like a very kind of like lazy getup. And you see that they actually have these like hanging spikes out of their back. They seem to be wearing what they would wear every day, which is like almost like a shawl that is like thrown across their shoulders, and very comfortable lounge wear that is like bright gold to match their hair, with these like silver earrings that hang down, but they have these spokes coming out of the back of their little shawl that have like almost like the spokes of a hand-drawn sun. So they're literally at this Halloween party as like the sun. They seem to be like, there's this robot that it is a Bloodforge original. Your friend truly made it took care of everything. There's a robot here that is slowly like playing music. Why am I saying slow? It's not slow. It's house music.
You know,
Yeah, it's
my
house music.
robot has
Yes.
the bumping beats. All right.
You see its chest has this like cavernous speaker that Dante was able to figure out like how resonance interacts with magic.
Oh, I can actually break, because I actually thought about this for a while. So pretty much with the science that Dante did, he took a Hallowed. He took what was originally going to be a Warforged that he was going to try to build. But then he got lazy and bored with that, and he's like, I'm just gonna make a speaker. So he put a technology where it combines sending stones and thaumaturgy, so that the sending stones take the signal of the music that is captured on a crystal, and it puts it through the sending stone, and the sending stone sends out the signal, which activates thaumaturgy runes on the subwoofer of the speaker to blast it out through the room.
So I think that
did you just use magical white like Bluetooth?
Look, this is what happens when you are an AV sound technician and you got like a degree in this stuff.
So what I'm gonna say is that you are using a sending stone, but the sending stone is specifically like, there are actual records where this thing is like DJing, and the sending stone is the little needle that the record would actually have. So it's literally picking up these tiny little bumps and perforations in this record to play and cast thaumaturgy into the subwoofer. And you all hear kind of like this like feedback where Jay, you see this person standing in front of you like poking this robot and trying to get it to do something.
Okay, so Jay is walking toward Soleil and Dante and sort of sees this happening, and gives them a just 1 second sort of thing, and walks over to this person and just gently baps them with the fence, just like stop it. What you doing there, buddy? What you got going on, friend? Just poking around a little bit.
Yeah, this like, I don't know what's going on here, but like, I want a certain song to play, and I kind of want this song to be over. But like, I like this song, but I want another song to play after this, and I don't really know what to call that. But truly, it just like, I thought that I could do something about that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense, and that tracks, and you are valid. I, in my experience, would say like poking robots is not super helpful to get them to do what you want. Usually you can just robot, play a different song now. And then we'll just give it a second. Robot. Excuse
I'm
me,
here to
robot.
kick it. I'm here to kick it. Keep it live. This robot just has like these canned phrases that is not acknowledging you in the slightest.
Okay. So it does seem to be doing
Maybe
sort of
if
its
you like
own
yell a little
thing.
louder.
Thank you for the advice. I actually wasn't looking for notes, but I do appreciate that. She will try yelling louder. Robot. And it doesn't seem to be working. Can I roll a Dante? And
Roll
see
a
what's up?
Bloodforge check as this thing
Wait,
yells,
just get it real quick.
this thing says, I can do this all night, and keeps like bopping this music. Roll me just, how are you interacting with this thing to try to get what you need? And we can determine what the Bloodforge check is.
Great. I am going to attempt to befriend it. I've just realized I don't have my character sheet up.
That's amazing.
But I can tell you what my highest ability scores are, or skill points, whatever they're called in D&D.
All right then, let's go. So, I believe that you're rolling me a. Let's do like a persuasion check from you as you try to befriend this thing.
I can attempt to persuade.
Yeah.
Just gonna grab the dice here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and
Oh,
vamp.
again? You don't have your dice again?
They're right here. They're just, behind the water bottle.
Okay.
For hydration. It's health.
It's to
Lexi.
remind you to drink
Ooh.
water.
Exactly that. That is a 21.
Wow. Okay. This robot that is devoid of life does not turn to you, but says, "What can I do next?"
Okay. I wasn't actually expecting that to work. So
What do you want?
Song we would like different music, please.
What song? What song you picking?
Can I get Time of My Life from that Sandals commercial?
Speak up.
The Sandals commercial song, with the white people running into the ocean.
I need you to. There is just something happening here, which is I think that you're yelling. I don't think that Jay understands like how loud they are being. But just it's so hard because I really want you to make a check for this, but I think that it's just I don't know. I think that you're saying that a little bit loud, and the person that was standing next to you is like,
Man,
that wasn't the song that I was gonna choose, but like
Austin,
like,
I feel like that.
Yeah, you don't like Sandals Resort?
I've never heard of Sandals Resort.
I
I have to have a limit of things I'm making in my world. I have to have a limit.
That's because I dreamed it. Sorry, what song did you want? Is it not the Sandals song? Because that's a fake song, apparently.
No, and you see that this person yells into the chest of this thing, like the woofer, just like, I would like to hear "I'ma Be" by the Black Eyed Peas, and just screams it in, and you hear that, like, that very recognizable intro beat, and everyone in the party turns around at first and is like, what is this? But their childhood flashes to them, and just everyone goes all in on this. Jay, I just love that so much. I'm going to give you an inspiration because there's somewhere deep inside of you that even though this interaction was caused by this person, there's a part of you that liked being almost like a director of this moment. if that makes sense. Like kind
Oh.
of being in between these two things happening.
Yeah, no, Jay will be riding high for the rest of the night. Like, this Black Eyed Peas comes on, and she's like, "All right, that's a choice. You're welcome," and do like the double point thing, and then sort of moonwalk back to Dante and Soleil.
Performance check on how good your moonwalk is. I'm so sorry. It must be done.
Great, and please know that she's also fencing people as she goes.
I would make the argument that it takes a lot of physical prowess to moonwalk, and
I agree.
Jay, as our martial class, should get advantage.
I acknowledge your defense.
I don't need advantage. That's a natural 20. I am so good at moonwalking.
You disappear into the little crowd and like fence off people, and just everyone moves for you, and everyone cheers even louder for this fences performance, this abridged fences performance. While that's happening, as you're literal moon sliding backwards, Dante, you hear like a very small chirp coming from your back pocket, from your crystal.
Hold a second. Hello?
When you see, it's actually a text on the surface of your crystal. So sorry to embarrass you like that. It is a text. And you see you see a text from, what is your dad's name in your phone?
Oh, but my dad's name in my phone is fuck. Dante put just put dad.
Dad.
Nothing too fancy.
Nothing too fancy. Text from dad, and all it says is, call me when you have a chance. Sorry that I couldn't drop you off. Really wish I could have seen you before you left.
Soleil, I got maybe about, he pulls out a pocket watch, about 15 minutes until the big launch. I gotta go make a phone call. Can you just keep things vibing here for a bit?
Soleil's just kind of like, but is staring at Jay.
Got it. Shivadri, I'm gotta go take a phone call. We got 15 minutes to launch.
All right. Okay. She just clangs wearing her warrior outfit around. She's still like clonking around this party, giving people drinks and filling people's waters and other things. But yeah, you kind of step off to the side. You call your dad. It rings. Your crystal just like pulses. And you see, you hear like the sound of someone picking up. And you hear your father's voice specifically saying, "Hello, it's me. Go ahead, tell me your hopes and dreams, kid."
Oh, hey, Dad, I didn't think you'd pick up so fast. Listen, hey, it's all right that you didn't show up. You didn't drop me off. It's totally fine. I get it. You're probably really busy. But I'm launching the beer tonight, and, I was hoping, you could have been there to see it. I know you're going to be there for, homecoming, so definitely could, try it. I worked really hard on it, and I really look forward to seeing you. So
I'm so sorry. You thought that was me? This is my voicemail. Talk to you soon. Just click. Your crystal powers down. The call has been dropped.
Okay. Dante walks back into the party, and what he does is he grabs a sending stone that everyone is using as like a karaoke mic, and he grabs it, like just snatches it out of someone's hand, and just walks towards the main area of the party. He's like, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, everyone out there, how's everyone doing? I am so glad you are here to show up. Jay, nice moves over there. Keep it up.
Still moonwalking.
Keep it up. I see you. I'm really glad that you all can make it to my annual my annual spooktacular Halloween booty jam. This year, though, is actually a very special reason why I'm throwing this, because this year I am unveiling the new line of the new department of Bloodforge Industries. It is our new line of beers. We are now unveiling Bloodforge Breweries, and he pulls a lever, and suddenly you see all the wall panels turn around, and you see all of these beer taps just lining up along the walls of different types. You see like dark ales, you see stouts, you see IPAs, all different types, like flavors that you would pretty much consider for beers, but they're all there just lining up the wall. And he looks at everyone and says, all right, enjoy yourselves, because the person that was supposed to enjoy it isn't here. And he like throws the sending stone over his shoulder.
Throws this as you, before you even get, like, you say, all right, enjoy. Like the whole crowd, like everyone gets super hyped and start rushing. That last little bit, it's to yourself. And it's more so said to yourself. But you throw your sending stone off to the side. People immediately rush to try all of these taps and fill up their cups. Shivadri definitely notices you from across the room, and like as an Owlin, just like kind of cocks her head to the side. I would love for both Dante and Soleil to give me perception checks.
Gotcha, BB.
This is D&D. Let's do it.
That was a bad one. I got a 4.
12. Soleil's pretty crossfaded, so.
Soleil, you're pretty cross right now. Now, normally your head is in the party, your head is in the moment, but your head is also above all of this. Like, you are living in this moment and trying to live both into the party and outside of the party to take count of everything, make sure everyone's doing all right. You hear a knock on the door.
Yep. And Soleil just kind of walks over, and as they walk past, they like go over to Jay really quick, and they're like, I'm the door, somebody's there, so I'm gonna go to the door and see what's happening, but like later on we should dance. That would be really fucking dope. And then kind of goes over to the door, like one of those real like strong claps on the shoulder, like doesn't really realize their strength as they're doing it, and just goes over to the door.
Also, Wally and Sam both take inspiration as well for that. Sam, Soleil, as you get closer to this door, you open it, like, you hear another knock, and what I will say, from what you understand, like, how many of your friends knock on your door? That's the real question here. So who could be knocking at your door at this hour is your biggest question as you approach the door.
Like, everyone knows that the party is here tonight.
And open.
So knocking on doors, very not suspicious.
Yeah. Hear another knock.
Soleil doesn't even like look through the little peephole, just like opens the door, casts Pass Without Trace on the party as an afterthought right behind them, and then closes the door.
That Pass Without Trace immediately flicks the lights off, and specifically whatever was like dealing with the lasers, and everyone is just like, oh, there's like a bunch of drunk teens behind you that are all trying to shut up and think it's the funniest thing that you have to be quiet right now. As you step outside, you see the recently promoted and acting provost of students, Simona Adrasta, standing before you. She is this woman. She has long white hair braided down her head. Her shoulders are up near her ears, and she's always kind of like wringing her hands. And the way she looks at you, her eyes are like this bright purple, and she has earrings with an insignia that you recognized, a greenish bluish eye on each earring. And she looks at you and says, "Hello, student. Hello, third year. Are you're... Sorry, I'm looking for other students."
Slay just looks, smiling tightly.
This is where, and she pulls out a piece of paper, Anaya Pierre and Lamar Jenkins live. They live here, correct?
They absolutely do live here, Provost, and they're kind of like standing up straight, trying their absolute hardest not to sway on their feet, and make probably their pupils, which are probably the size of saucers, trying their very hardest to make them small.
Give me a persuasion check. As you do this, she just, well, they have something that I'm here to collect. But if you could just, I'm gonna be around campus tonight. But if you could just send them my way when they return back with, just tell them that the dean, the provost, needs the book. That's all you need to say.
Well, I think Lamar, he went to a friend's house for the night, and he's not here. And you know, Anaya, she's like my roommate and like my best friend, like outside of Dante, that is. And the last I saw of her today, she was at the library because she said partying is not what I need to be doing my junior year. To be great, I have to get ahead is what she said. Gotta get ahead on her studies because she's a bright and stellar student and the future of Strix Haven.
I do see what you're saying here. While you were saying this, I would love to know what you got on your persuasion check. I would also love for you to make me a deception check.
That was a good hot 12 on the persuasion check.
Cool. That was a hot 12.
That's a 21 on the deception, baby.
21 on the deception. That is absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to rip this success from you, but I think I am going to make you make that an advantage because you're, or disadvantage because you're crossed.
Hater. Fucking hater.
Sorry.
Like,
it's not my fault.
hating
you
like
make
CJ.
choices.
Okay. How's a 17 for that ass? Probably still sucks. Yeah, it probably still sucks. I'm talking hot shit.
Let me do a little roll.
Roll like ass. You didn't lift your face.
You couldn't pay me to roll like ass. You see Dean Adrasta, Provost Adrasta, is taking notes. This is something that you notice. She is taking notes as you're speaking and talking about your friends and who, like, when you mention names, continues writing things down. Okay, well, your friends sound quite academically ahead. And you yourself, just absolutely stellar achievers, I'm sure. Which is why I'm sure that they will be. Yeah, I'm sure that is why they will be back very soon with my book. If you don't mind, I will be in my office all night. But I'm just waiting on them to return this item to me. This is quite important. I will leave you be for the night, but just know also, your party is a little loud for campus.
I don't know what party it is you're talking about. I'm watching a very loud crystal.
There was nothing else in that sentence. That was just you were watching a very loud crystal.
I
What movie?
apologize.
What movie in the crystal?
I am watching Black Panther.
I've seen that one. I don't think it was that loud.
That's what I'm dressed as right now. You don't remember the part where they fought and it was loud takeover.
She's
Wakanda
already turned around
forever.
and she's leaving. You do the Wakanda forever sign, and she's
I'm
walking
always
away.
like, "Ha! I got out of that one high."
Yep, sure you did. Yeah. Your little in front of your house, as I said, you live in this gigantic tree. It is ancient. It is huge. It is wide at the base of it. And in front of you are in like the prime spot of campus, where you're pretty close to the center of campus, but you're like a walk through a courtyard away. About like 5-10 minute walk to campus where you see like the spell snarl, you see the biblioplex, all of those things. But there's just like these beautiful other large trees dotting this walk to campus with quandrix colored lights floating and bobbing about. You watch Provost Adrasta sit kind of down the path on this walk, sit down on a bench. You just begin looking at the lights and watching them go around as you turn around and head back inside.
I immediately run up to Dante and I go, you gotta put a bubble. You gotta put a bubble. Provost came looking for Anaya and Lamar, and I mean, I think I did a very good job at throwing her off of their scent. Nothing about what I said was suspicious in any way, shape, or form.
No,
But
what did you
I-
say?
So, as you say that, a bunch of huddled, hunched students are like, "Can the party go back to normal now?" And you've
He's
been in
gotta
the-
put the bubble up first.
Okay.
I'm gonna go put this bubble up.
You go to put this protective bubble up that like houses the sound, and we're gonna zoom out from this scene as the music returns. As
Everybody throw ass!
everyone
That's the last
commences
thing
throwing
you see.
ass immediately, as fast as they possibly can. Everyone starts throwing
In a
ass,
circle.
including Shivadri. And I will leave you on that image as an owl throws ass back out of this bubble.
Damn, she's on the fucking wing.
Slay finds their way to
She
Jay.
got them drumsticks.
That's that family combo.
Dark meat, baby.
Listen, ain't nothing but red beans and rice and cornbread over there.
Two
Listen.
wings and a biscuits,
$3.99
man.
Tuesday. Listen.
Man, this ain't no Popeyes biscuits. This bread will moisten your mouth.
Honey butter, baby.
We zoom out of this beautiful house. And as we exit the bubble, we enter like a silent night, except for the crickets around campus and people walking around. We enter a more silent section of Strixhaven. We enter a more silent part of Strixhaven as we soar past the biblioplex through the Star Arch, this like crown over campus, made of stones and liths of all different kinds, and into the biblioplex, towards a place not many students know about, the Gate of Founders. This is a beautiful and haunting large gate. It's gilded with gold, helixed along ultramarine arches and columns and walls. There are glowing astronomical formations softly imprinted in the stone. The floors are made of like a reflective, mirror-like substance, and the things you see in the reflection are like 5 golden gates. Each one has like almost like a lava lamp effect of liquid inside that is balancing the two polar colors of each school. But outside of each of these doors, you see in front of Quandrix, there is a fractal. In front of Witherbloom, you see 2 small pests kind of guarding the door. When we get to specifically the Silver Quill door, the door is ajar, is open, and cold snow blows through this open door. 2 inklings that were protecting the door lie completely eviscerated in the front, and we just immediately go through this gate. We see a long field that is covered in snow. This place is huge on the inside. It seems to be a portal of some sort. We see thin ash oaks whipping by us, dark ink soaking out of their veins, until we get to this exquisite house that seems to be frozen in the side of a glacier, where a frigid ocean crashes onto the glacier and freezes, making it more frozen in ice. We zoom in on this house, get into a somewhat empty residence, but large corridor where we find two of our other heroes, along with some older heroes as well. We find Lamar and Anaya. Anaya, I want you to make me roll really quickly. Roll me an attack roll. Roll to hit.
Okay.
Whatever weapon you want, whatever. It should be a weapon rather than a spell, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. That is going to be 13.
Absolutely. And what weapon are you using?
Anaya has just like a standard rapier. Like, honestly, probably like the basic rapier or weapon that they give spellcasters, where it's like, hey, if you're ever out of spell slots, so you don't die. Like,
here's a pencil. Like, here you go.
Yeah. They were like, do you want a short sword, a glaive? And she was like, I'll take the little needle looking thing, I guess.
It's a finesse weapon, and you know what?
I'm dexterous.
Yeah, you're dexterous.
Flexible.
Absolutely. This comes into play here as this rapier is like almost like, what is the word for it? It's like bouncing in the wall as
the like
inkling.
vibration.
Yeah, it's like doing that thing. Reverberating, that's exactly what it is. As over the shoulder of one of the twins that is here with you, an inkling was like creeping over their shoulder, and this rapier like stabs through it and pierces it to the wall. This twin, she looks at you. She has like this long black cascading hair, red kind of a red shirt, long red earrings, which are kind of like not good for fighting, but very fashionable. Southeast Asian kind of like features, just beautiful makeup done on the face, and specifically we'll say a moon kind of tattoo on her palm, as she is like, she looks over to you and just has her hands up. What the hell?
There was an inkling.
You could be a bit more careful. And she looks into the hallway. Lamar, Anaya, when you both also look into this hallway, you see this is a hallway befitting a dragon. Like, no normal human just lives here. This is a dragon's house that you are breaking into. And you look down and you see these two small little cards that tell you exactly what you're looking for. And when you look across the hallway, the twins also have cards of some sort telling them what they're looking for. What would you like to do? You're on a mission.
I'm going to like move a little bit closer to the twin.
Mm-hmm.
And when she's like not so deeply focused, just I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. I was just trying to help.
You could have easily stopped me.
I wouldn't do that.
On purpose?
I mean, only if you ask me.
She rolls her eyes and says, aren't we supposed to be getting something?
Yeah, y'all good? We're like here to do a thing. Could you do this? Like,
you're the one with the
or something?
Immediately, it all drops. And just like in the most angry whisper, "You're the one with the familiar."
Yeah, I'm working on it. And Lamar.
Okay, then work on it.
Lamar is like pulling on this their chest like lights up with like a red glow, and they're pulling on it, and they pull up to their face and they pull out, and there's like this small mote of like orange energy for a second before it disappears. And I want to use in the hallway there's a door.
Yeah. So down this long hallway, you see there is like an archway where a door, like an entrance,
Perfect.
where a door should be. Yes.
I would like to class clairvoyance behind the door. I don't need to like know what's there. I just need to know if there's a door, and be like behind the door as like a location. If there's just a wall, then it'll be on the wall. But I put it behind that the archway I see. I put it behind that.
Absolutely. You pull outwards from you. The spell emanates and radiates, and immediately you drop into a state of blindness as this clairvoyance takes over, and you see that this little mote, an orb kind of resting in the center of a room, sees almost like orthographically, like all around it. When you get into this room, I will say it's not completely dark. And you're choosing seeing, correct?
Yeah, as I finish casting it, people would see ghosts come up like out of from like my sleeve and like wrap around my eyes, and then sit their head where my eyes would be, and they're gonna be my eyes because they can talk to me telepathically, so I can still like see. Ghost is a snake. If you didn't watch last season, go watch last season.
Yeah,
Sorry,
what are you
please
doing?
Continue your narrative.
Exactly. The other twin, you see, just kind of like a taller dude. He's got brown hair. Dark brown hair that is shaved on the sides and super long all the way down the rest of his head. Also, yeah, both of them Southeast Asian. But he has a sun tattoo in his palm, which is what you see before you go blind. Puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "I got you. Wherever you go, we'll make sure you get there." But you see into this room, orthographically all around you. You're expecting like an empty room of some sort, or even maybe like one or two people sitting in a room. You're not sure. The details of you coming here was that this place was empty and that you needed to break in and get what you need. When this source of sight appears in this room, it sees close to 100 bodies in this room. Standing straight up, they're not human bodies. They're not humanoid bodies. They are the bodies of the protectors of campus. These kind of, you all call them griefs, just like glass griefs. That's like what y'all call them.
We call the fucking campus cops griefs.
Yeah. Glass griefs. They are literally almost like iRobot, like glass bodies.
Oh, I hate
like,
that. I really do.
Except not frosted glass, like completely see-through, and at their centers, normally there would be a twisting fractal, and fractals in this world are not like these like cubic geometrical wonders. Fractals in this world are twisting fabric, almost like at the center of a soul.
Would you say like threads? Would you say like threads in a yarn?
No, actually. I'd say like pieces of like literal pieces of like stretched fabrics of different colors that, depending on what school they're in, they're kind of like interacting and folding and twisting into each other.
Cool.
Yeah, representing infinity. Like they never seem to fold enough. Like, yeah.
Also, I'm just teasing you for your incredible world building. Continue.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate that. So you see all of these, but you see these hollow glass griefs standing in the hundreds. Not the hundreds, about 100 or so. In rows, very tight, pristine rows. But in front of this thing, that's on right side, on left side, all the way back to each wall. In front of you, you do see a large bookcase. You see a desk that is just sitting there. What are you looking for?
Specifically the book that me and I are looking for. These twins are on their own thing. If they want to slack around and flirt, it's not my problem. I just happen to also be looking for what Anaya is looking for.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a perception check for the clairvoyance.
Absolutely.
Yes, please do.
Hot. How is a synthetic 20?
A synthetic 20. Completely, clearly fabricated 20. You see in this room this bookcase. You see a bunch of books large enough to fit in the claws of a dragon, but mostly you see this sphere. It is probably the biggest thing out of like everything on this bookcase, but it is a sphere that at the top it kind of evens out, but you see it's full of like this black ink, and yeah, you're not really sure what that is, but you don't specifically see the Book of Founders. You just see this huge sphere that has ink in it. Could be something at the bottom of it, you're not sure. And then obviously you're not looking for it, but like you do very clearly see what the twins say that they're looking for. Just like almost like these ivory chess pieces that sit in a row on the desk.
All right, well, y'all things in there, but I don't necessarily see the book.
What do you mean you don't see the book?
I mean, what do you mean I don't fucking see the book? What do you think I mean? What do you think it means?
I am telling you that we are here for one thing and one thing only, and you're telling me that you don't see it. You can't find it.
Lamar, you hear footsteps. Two sets of footsteps coming towards.
Also, someone's coming. We should probably move unless you want to sit here and flirt more or whatever.
I think that we should go.
I think we should go.
No, it was rhetorical.
Oh, then why aren't you moving?
He's just an asshole. Okay, don't worry about it.
Both the twins will help you start moving. And Anaya, you can lead the way. Where are you headed to?
Yeah, I will lead the way, actually. Thank you so much, Lexi.
Where are you headed, Anaya?
I am leading the sneaky charge into this room.
Yeah. So we like whip past these huge windows. It's like one of those shots where you just barely like you see wall, window, and we see you all running through this large hallway as these footsteps get closer. You get to the door. Someone give me a sleight of hand check to open the door. Whoever would like to make it.
Sleight of hand? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Ooh, wait. Let me double check my spells. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself first, though.
Go for it.
I was like, I got a
tried and
snake for
true.
eyes, so I will not be.
I got a snake for eyes.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Nope, you're not a D4. I'm just gonna divide you by 2, okay? But never mind, it doesn't fucking matter.
Are you rolling a D8?
Yeah. I was like, listen, if I get 4 or above, I'm just gonna divide you by 2. I was not about to dick around in this bag. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I rolled a 1. Okay? That's honest truth here.
You rolled a natural 1 to open this door.
On my D4.
Okay. Roll your sleight of hand. Roll your sleight of hand.
Chill. I got 18 on the die. With the 1, that's a 20. That's a 19, and then I have a 3 sleight of hand. Okay, so it's over 20.
You
can remove your foot from my neck, sir, and continue on with your game.
I won't. You immediately put your I'm gonna say that you use one of your cards. Why not? You use one of your cards. Oh yeah,
like I slide it through.
Slide it through, and it just and opens. You both enter into this room. Anaya, you see something that Lamar has already seen, which is these 100 or so glass griefs in rows, like standing around lifeless. But you do see the desk, and the footsteps are getting closer to you all.
kind enough to find us. And then I'll just like start moving us through the griefs.
Okay. Friend Lamar, I want to. Where do you want me to put you? Like, we need to hide.
I look back at them with Ghost like.
Yeah.
I got it. I mean,
Okay. All right. I think we need to hide though, because they're coming, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good. And I go like towards the gaggle of griefs.
Okay.
I
You
like
move
that. Okay.
into this gaggle of griefs. Yes, the gaggle of griefs. My griefs are not geese. But you move through these rows and rows. You get to the desk. These footsteps get closer and closer, and you see, like, what are you all doing? The twins are going to hide. The twins are literally going to hide. You see one of them hiding up against, it seems to be, like, their names, Alias, Azura. Alias is going to hide perfect height up against one of the griefs and hope that nobody notices. But Alias is going to go underneath the desk.
I'm going to also
Or
dart
Azura's
under the
going
desk.
Okay. Make me a stealth check as you do that.
Okay, and I'm going to
And
roll
Lamar,
with guidance.
Yeah, Lamar, where are you going? There are doors that were just opened too, so.
Wait, so there are griefs and there's a door to somewhere else? Question mark? In
No,
this
like
room?
you just cracked open the doors, so you could hide behind the doors if you wanted to.
Oh, that
You can
sounds-
hide wherever.
No, that sounds absolutely reckless. That sounds like some
Mhm.
Kronk and Emperor's New Groove shit. No, I'm gonna go hide amongst the griefs.
Okay.
I'm gonna go like to a further corner or something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I will leave. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a stealth check. Rolling for the.
I'm gonna leave Ghost by the door because I don't need to keep clairvoyance if I'm in the room now.
Amazing.
Stealth.
I got an 18, by the way.
Okay. Azura rolled a 19 plus 1 is 20. Alias rolled a 12 plus a 4 is a 16. What did you get, Lamar?
Jesus.
I got a 19.
19. Okay. You all like dive into your hiding spots, and you see like the force that both you and Aya and Azura, like your backs hit the back of the desk. There's like a cup of pencils on the desk that starts to spin, and for a second you're like, oh, this is gonna give us away, as the footsteps pass by the door and stop over the threshold of the door, but it seems to rest. You hear everyone give me a perception check for what all you're able to make out.
Guidance does last a minute. Am I good to use it again?
Yes.
Cool, thank you.
I'm also gonna make one for Ghost. Nothing. Okay. Ghost got a 17, and I got a natural 20.
I got an 8.
Natural 20. What you're able to make out. It's a conversation between two people. You hear 100 here, 100 there, hundreds everywhere. Here soon, huh? And you hear another voice that says, I thought there were some students around completing their stupid fire drill, but maybe they're smart enough to have left. Another voice. You give these slackers way too much credit. They have it so easy these days. Another voice. You're right. I feel like the initiation is the most fun to happen to this place in years. Just thin out the useless and get the powerful students few and far between for sure. Well, let's not keep homecoming waiting, right? From where you all are sitting and hiding, you hear like a as the griefs all begin to hum and turn on. Normally you would think that they would be of specific school colors, but you all, the light that is glowing is like gold and black and white. Then it resolves to blue and green, red and white, black and white, like these specific school colors. And the room is left, like they leave, and you're all left in the soft glow of these griefs.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The ghost 17, is it enough to see the people talking? Because I left ghosts by the door.
I don't believe so.
No?
I don't believe so.
Are they invisible? Question mark?
My DC is pretty high there.
The room is not dark though.
The room is not completely dark.
I'm making sure because I can't see. I wouldn't like be just walking around.
Yeah.
But they leave.
Yes, they
The
do
groups
leave.
are on. I started looking for the book. That was weird. Whatever.
I start looking for the book.
I started looking first.
Both of
We
you-
both start looking.
Both of you give me investigation checks. And Azura and Alias are also looking for their thing. You see, their thing is pretty...
Who was it? Who was hiding in the desk with me, by the way?
Azura.
Okay.
Hot hands.
You said investigation?
Investigation.
That's 17
17.
right
Synthetic
here.
20 over here.
Synthetic 20. Another one. Jeez, what's going on?
Hot hands.
Both of you... I
I
don't think that's it. It's slow hands.
Listen, first of
Liam
all,
Payne.
I don't know the song.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
thank you for starting with that.
I used to sing it as Saw Hands, and my partner
Saw
corrected me.
God
That's
bless
better,
you.
though. That's so much better. So
Sorry.
We were taking our road trip after getting engaged, and I did not know the song, and she waited the entire road trip.
You
to
were
correct
so
me.
you in
Oh
particular were
my
so ready for
God.
Chainsaw Man season 1. Anyway.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Okay. Give me 1 second.
I see how we're gonna get fucked up. I see.
Oh my gosh. So you both at the same time spot this gigantic, and the closer you are to it, the bigger you see. It's almost like a 5 to 7 foot by 7 foot orb. And as you're standing underneath it, what you do see is at the bottom, you see like the cover of a book. That's what I'll say. It's like as you're looking at it, the angle that you're looking at it, something is resting at the bottom of this orb that has like, it's completely full of ink, and there's something sitting at the bottom. Azura looks at both of you and says, I mean, our thing is kind of up there too. So like, how are we getting up there?
Getting
If you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor.
Lamar, listen. Alias looks over at you like, what the fuck?
I was like, will you literally just give me a boost up? I don't know why they're being like this.
Listen.
Absolutely. Let's see who gets to it first. So both of you, so Azura will say, sure. I have mage hand if that's what you're asking.
I mean, I was gonna get your book I was gonna get your thing if one of you will get, this orb off. I just need the book.
Okay. Meanwhile, Lamar and Alias have already. How are you? Is Alias just like lifting you up, or are you lifting Alias up, or are you?
Yeah, I'm just like, let's just boost each other up. Like one person
Absolutely.
get boosted up, the other person pull the person.
You go ahead and make me an athletics check as you boost Alias up. Alias is like very tall, so Alias is going to try to be on top there so that he can get there.
What are they grabbing?
They're just going. It seems to be on like the same level of this bookshelf.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got an 18.
An 18, that's perfect. So you lift him up, and he gets to a certain level of the bookshelf where he can put his foot up and prop himself. You see that he grabs, he points and says, "Is this what you need? This thing?" Points at the orb.
No, there's a thing in the orb, but so yes and no. Can you get the thing out of the orb?
Right. Sure. And he reaches a long arm into this orb. You see him moving around, and he just like it kind of burns. Fuck.
Yeah.
And grabs the book and pulls it out and starts like flicking ink down as he gets this book out. And he
Can I
tosses
snatch it out of his hand?
He's like 10 feet in the air, and he's gonna toss it down. So whoever gets
Okay,
it
then I'll
first-
catch it with my mage hand.
Lamar, what do you?
I
what-
will be the one to get the book. Thank you.
I try to catch it. I don't know how you would like to resolve that in your
Dex checks.
fiction.
Just dex checks.
1 second, I'm reading something.
While you're doing that,
Read.
Alias, he pulls his arm out and he immediately grabs. You see, he goes to grab with the hand that was just in the ink, but like it is like covered in ink. So he grabs with the other hand. You see this like shelf of, 4 ivory totems, and he holds it out, and he looks down to Azura and says, "You got it?" And she goes, "Yep." He lets go of it. It falls from about 10 feet. Her mage hand completely pillow forts it and catches it on its way down into her hand. What did you guys get?
I got a natural 20 for 21.
Oh, I hate you. How are you getting 20s like that?
I got hot hands. I don't apologize for it. This is how I roll.
What'd you get, Anaya?
I didn't get a natural 20, but I did get a 21.
Okay, so Lamar, what did you get? Did you get a 20?
I got a natural 20 plus my modifier, which makes it 21.
Yeah, so that's it.
My modifier
Sadly, it's a natural
is.
success.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, so I will say, let's just say you immediately catch the book, but Anaya, your mage hand grabs the book the second after Lamar has like a good hold on the book.
I look, just so everyone is aware, my plan was this. I get the book and I'm like, here you go to Anaya, you're welcome.
No. No.
You don't.
No,
want
I mean,
it-
yes, like, that's fine, but I'm saying that Anaya will be a brat.
No, I understand that, Brad. Don't worry. Don't worry. I like handed. You clearly like really wanted to hold this, yeah.
I just snatch it out of Lamar's hand.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a brat. I say to the twin, to Alias, just so you're aware, you'll have to. That's like, I don't know if you're ready for that, but you should get out of here.
Excuse me?
Both
Yeah?
of them laugh just a little bit. You all immediately run out of this place. You should not be in this place any longer than you have to.
No. Fuck this. I don't want to be in Lamar's presence any more than I have to.
Absolutely.
Fuck you, me.
Exactly.
I only
Yeah.
speak truth. It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
I
Phenomenal.
love you too, Liv.
I love you, Austin.
Amazing. We are going to kind of leave this scene and head towards like a literal smash cut towards a place called the Dungeon, otherwise known as the Prismari Allforge. The Dungeon is where all Prismari students put their time and effort in creating iterations of all sorts of architectures, structures, sculptures, any kind of crafting and forging happens here. You see this place is full of like clay-made civil structures, so like bridges, buildings that can be used by people, dragon hordes that are created to like actually facilitate airflow, holding on to gold, but also like allowing people to live around it. You see like students kind of making the most of the environment, using their expression to create things that people will actually use. And here's where we're actually going to see Amethyst hard at work. Amethyst, you have 3 swords on the forge. And I would love for you to describe who we see bringing a huge hammer down on one of these swords.
Yeah, so you see our beloved 6'6", tall purple tiefling. She's got from what I remember, like basically like sports bra, and you can see like her scapula, like her back, which is definitely maybe not safe, but you know, she's a tiefling. And she's wearing like a forge apron kind of in the front, so it's like she's got like hat, and she's got kind of the goggles, the gloves on, the big ass hammer in her hand, kind of like quickly bringing down it to kind of like level these 3 weapons, doing them as fast as possible, almost like a time trial.
Absolutely. I want you to give me 3 forge checks, and those forge checks are basically crafting checks. So int plus proficiency plus a d20.
Yeah, that is int plus proficiency plus a d20. I mean, I have a fucking
I know. 20.
No. You said intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence.
Yeah, that is not Amethyst's good trait.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, cleric. But the +0 to intelligence plus the 3, I think that's like a 6.
Cool. 6 on the first one. Give me 2 more.
12. And 14.
Cool. You ping. You bring this hammer down on this metal, and it immediately shatters under that weight. The second one you walk over, you try to you take this one, and actually you're like, okay, a little bit more heat this time, should be malleable, like it should be fine. You put it into your kiln and heat it up, and then bring it out, and ping, ping, ping. It, under your 3rd strike, begins to bend and warp, and then shatters at a jagged angle in a place that you feel like you cannot save. Your last one, you start actually molding the metal. You actually start doing a good job. You're taking care with all of these things, and when you swing at the last one, your literal grip on the hammer shatters the wooden handle of the thing, and the actual head of the hammer comes down on this sword, bounces off somewhere else, and you hear a shattering. You hear someone go, hey, Amethyst, that was supposed to be my midterm.
Okay. Just fuck. 1 moment. Do you need me to help you? Is it salvageable? Was it done?
It was close to done. It's okay. It's fine. You know.
It's not. It's. I'm gonna shut this down.
What? Why?
And Amethyst just kind of like begins the process of like turning stuff off to a degree. And I'm gonna help you. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Nora.
Nora comes over, and she has like this like tons of like almost like mud clay on her hands, as she was still working on a pot, like she was throwing as you were working. She comes over and goes to like touch your shoulder, and then it was like clay. Like maybe you could try just one. Like maybe You could just do one today and then like one tomorrow. Like I'm throwing my pots and I'm doing one today and then I'll do one tomorrow.
I mean, I've done one before.
Uh-huh. And it was so good. It worked really well.
But it's not good enough.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get faster. You know, maybe I need to be faster. So, you know, like you ever do like sprints on a field? You know, you can kind of like do footwork. You go between, like running, but like with forging. You know, practice to get faster, do more things, so that you can do one thing better.
Interesting, because like when I think about forging, I'm thinking about like heavy metals and insane heats and
It's not that high.
melted things and sharp things, and speed just doesn't come into that equation. But maybe it does for you.
No. I'm trying new things. I'm trying new things because I mean like. No. Yeah. Faster. Look, I have been doing this for years, all my life basically, and I'm good. I'm decent. But the same things aren't gonna get me are gonna get me the same results.
Right. Interesting. I just, I haven't. I don't know. I just don't know if that's the solution, or if that's the problem. But and she's going to walk over and like stand over your swords and stand over their like shattered shells. This looks a little weird. Is that like?
What do you mean? I think Amethyst kind of like comes over, kind of taking off her gloves, wiping the sweat, the lot of sweat off her forehead.
Oh yeah, and you hear a voice from behind you saying, "I think that was too much pressure that you used when you. I think it was too much pressure."
And Amethyst doesn't even turn around, just like, yeah. I'm inclined to agree. Fucking broke the handle. I never had that happen. So.
Yeah, I've never seen it happen either. And who kind of steps into frame? You see this very tall woman, taller than you. I know, betrayal. Taller than you. She steps into your view and has one hand kind of on her chin as she looks over your creations. She has very dark skin, very wide nose, very full lips, bright pink eyes with pink eyelashes, and almost like pink mascara on the eyelashes to accentuate the pink eyes. Eyebrows are also this like bright fluorescent color. Hair is pinks to purples to greens all the way down her head. Half of it is down, half of it is up. And you literally watch as like flowers bloom and die in time. Like to almost like a degree in her hair as you stare at her. She seems like she should be wearing something way more regal than what she is wearing, but she seems to just be wearing like a white t-shirt, leggings, and some like sneakers, and her hands are covered in like chalk. She has a chisel of her own like in her hands as she looks at your thing. I
think Amethyst, like, who was very consumed with the things, kind of like glances over, like expectingly looking down, and then like looks up and goes, "Whoa, tall, hot, magical. Okay, hello?" ?
Roll me a history check.
Yeah. Oh god, not another intelligence-based thing. Yeah, I have a plus nothing to that. 18.
Why are you complaining? Whoa, that's really good.
But it could have been better.
That's true. It could be better. on the matrix of things, it could be. That was a good thing. You dip into your memory, your recent memory. This is an honored alumni that has been welcomed back to school. This is the one and only Jamelia Twilight. She is an ambassador for the Feywild, specifically, and she came to school and actually majored like in Prismari, but also in Lorehold, specifically to like her thesis statement had something to do with like living sculptures. You're not really sure exactly what, but like something having to do with living sculptures. And as they've been advertising for homecoming and like people coming back, everything has circled around like, oh, she's recreating her thesis. So hot lady, magical, why is she here in a student's like forge?
Literally.
That might have something to do with it.
You're a Night of the Living Museums woman, right?
Oh, you mean Middleton's Museum of Magic and Light and Wonder? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a few of the. I looked in some of those. They taught about you. Yeah, you do the sculpture magic, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm a little curious about what you do, actually. I mean, it's a shattered blade for sure, but it's of good make.
Well, right now I break weapons, so.
I mean, you could make a living out of that.
I get. Huh? Okay. Is that a thing people do?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Doesn't help to be the first.
Yeah, first of a lot of things. And Amethyst is like kind of stretching, but also like clenching her fist. She's like, yeah. But and kind of like I think maybe left one glove off, takes it off, and kind of like puts a hand out. Amethyst Wilson, Forge Master.
It's nice that you're already declaring yourself a Forge Master before you got the degree. I mean that entirely. I think a lot of people, they wait far too long to claim ownership to who they are. And she shakes your hand. You immediately get this like blossom of like mint and eucalyptus, like just specifically eucalyptus into your nostrils as she shakes your hand. And she just, well, you know who I am. Who I am doesn't really matter. May I ask you what year you are?
And like Amethyst like brain in a soup. Junior, third year. Transfer actually.
Transfer. Wow. Okay. She picks up one of your shattered blades, and you see it's like the hilt. It's like literally the hilt, and then the blade comes out, and it is just like broken in ways one cannot even imagine, even within the spans of D&D. And she takes it and says, "Do you mind if I use this?"
Sure. Unsure what a broken blade would do you, but yeah, all yours. Take it. Take whatever you want. I am done for the night. Maybe. Probably.
Interesting. And your friend behind you, and Nora has been like hidden behind you, like squeezed herself to stand directly behind you so she's not seen.
It's probably like works too, but it's like
Yep.
You're like not hiding from her though.
Yeah. Your friend.
Yeah. Kind of like turns around. I think Amethyst like fully turns around, grabs shoulders, and like moves. It's like, kind of like keeps an arm over Nora and is like, yeah, this is well, Nora, you can
Yeah, I'm Nora. Actually, that's not my name. My name is okay. I'm Nora. And what is your name? And she goes, my name is Jamelia Twilight.
You don't know her name. You don't know her name. Like, she's like famous. Okay, not Nora.
Yes, and she holds out a hand. Jamelia holds out a hand to Nora. Nora shakes it, extremely clammy. Like, even from where you are, you just see glistening of sweat. It's gross. Jamelia just, like, smiles anyway, and says, if you want to see what good a broken blade can do, I can show you.
You would be the first. Yeah, sure. And I think Amethyst kind of like, still with an arm over Nora, is kind of like rubbing her shoulder and is like, breathe. I don't know what's going on, but breathe.
Don't worry about it. Just don't talk to me.
Sure, because you're
pay
like,
attention to me. I'm gonna go. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
You sure you don't want to see? Okay, all right. Have fun.
I'm gonna go put up my.
I don't know why
we're
we're
going to the
whispering.
party, right?
I am so. I mean, I live there, so.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So we'll just walk back together.
Yeah. I mean, while you're there, while you're not walking with us, you should learn how to breathe. Maybe.
I know how to breathe.
Come back to life, because you're kind of stiff, like you're dead.
What? And you see her just go. Okay, all right, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, cool. Play it cool. Yeah,
you
breathe.
go talk
Get
to.
down, yeah.
You go talk to her.
Talk to the lady that scares you. Yeah, okay, cool.
That's whatever. And she'll walk off. Jamelia, whether she knows or doesn't know, she immediately holds out this blade and says, this actually can do a lot more than you would think, and it mostly surrounds how every person kind of puts themselves into their work, if you think about it. And that's kind of how I do what I do, is by bringing to life the things that people once loved. I don't know. And she stops in her tracks and turns around with the blade pointed at you. It's a broken blade. Do you love this blade?
What? Now, when you say
quite
love,
a long time to answer that.
because that's a very strange question.
How?
I mean, love that.
Did I confuse you?
I mean, you didn't make. You're not making a whole lot of sense right now. I mean, like, love's a strong word for something that straining.
Yes.
What?
I'm just gonna show you what I mean.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, let's.
She takes your blade, she holds on to it, she sets it down on a workbench next to one of her sculptures, and you see that she's literally chiseling marble, like this lost art form. She takes a block of marble. Let me roll a strength check for her. Trying to lug this thing over. Easy. She pulls this thing over, muscles popping out of her shirt as she just like pulls it over with a cart. She puts this like huge block of obsidian. So like this pitch black stone. And you are like the only two here in this moment. And you watch her take her chisel, say, do you think that one needs tools to make something brilliant?
Yeah. I mean, they help.
They help. But who makes the brilliant thing?
Well, the creator.
Crafter, the creator. You're correct. Now, what I'm going to show you right now, this isn't what, got me, this isn't what got me my awards and accolades, but it is something that I found out a little far late in my career. There is only two things right now. It is me and the thing that I want in the future, the thing that I will will into existence, my craft. There is no tool that can help me get there. There's no hammer, there's no chisel. And you see that she takes her chisel, tosses it off to the side. She walks up with hands that were just cutting marble, so they're like chalky. She goes up to this obsidian, places one on one side of this huge lith of stone, and then on the other hand, and she says, "It is me, and it is the thing that I love the most, and it is also the thing that I want most out of the future. There is nothing standing between me and the future in this moment when I am making." And you watch this stone almost like melt and carve a form. It creates this form of her standing, her graduation day. And it's almost hard to make out because it's like just like piercing black stone. But you see like swooshing Strixhaven cloths. You see her familiar hair. You see familiar pink eyes of anything. And you watch this form like melt out of stone. That's like, I can only do that like once a day. But like, it's like a once a day thing. But like,
Okay.
I think the most important part is that the only thing standing between you and something that you love is how much you love it. You understand?
Kind of. I'm not good with metaphors.
Then I'm gonna give you a real tangible thing here.
Okay, that'd be great.
She walks
okay,
over
cool.
to the sword. She gives it back to you. She says, "I want a sword. I want a sword. Sometime soon before I leave homecoming. I don't want 3 swords. I don't want 6 swords. I want 1 sword, and it has to be this one that's broken."
You want me to reforge this one, this one?
Yes.
Okay.
And you see she starts to like clap the chalk dust off her hands and starts moving into like this warehouse to get more and more stone. And she says, as she's walking off, she's like, "One last question, Amethyst. How much do you love that blade?"
Another.
That's
really
it's
reminiscent
rhetorical.
of the
That one's rhetorical.
That's like the first question that you asked. It's
Yes.
pretty similar.
Yes, it's rhetorical.
She's gripping this blade like
Absolutely. The death of her. Nora walks over to you and is like, "Is she gone?"
I thought you left.
No, I was waiting on you.
I weren't you? Okay, yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she's gone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can we leave? Can we leave?
Yeah, that woman's very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you get your costume?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my costume. Did you get your costume? Where's your costume at?
Wasn't wearing one to begin with.
Okay, well,
I mean, okay, actually I do. She like kind of pulls out a panther mask. She's like, "Yeah, I'm dressing as a Black Panther."
A Black Panther or the Black Panther?
I will not elaborate.
Okay.
I already made a cannon. Just saying.
Nora
No, it is literally a panther that is black.
Yes.
Like the ones that are found in the wild.
Yeah, it's like a humanoid face for some reason.
Yeah. You're just dressed as a tabaxi.
Yeah.
That feels racist.
That is racist.
It is.
It is though.
Okay, but I am the Black Panther.
It's fine. It's fine. Listen,
The
we
Black Panther is an
objectify
adventurer.
Shivadri all the time. Like, how many times do you think Shivadri has sat us down and been like, "Stop talking about me like I'm literally a chicken piece dinner"?
Drumsticks. Like, no, Amethyst
totally
Amethyst does not call her out their drumsticks. CJ will. Amethyst also
That's
is
fair.
sitting
It's
down there like,
us
y'all can't
above the
keep doing
table.
this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have your Black Panther costume on. And Nora is standing before you. She has a mouse costume on. You see that she's like, "Okay, time to go show off my anatomically correct mouse costume. Everyone always gets like the limbs wrong.
But
There's a reason they can what?
That's not what the holidays. But you're supposed to like look. You look great. You know what? Yeah, let's go.
Did you? Mice can like squeezed into like really tiny spaces, and
Yeah,
if
they
you
can.
don't
Keep
if
telling
you
me about
don't get the
mice.
bones right,
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I think
It doesn't
Amethyst
make
just
sense.
kind of Amethyst is like, yeah, keep telling me about mice, and just kind of like intertwines their
Immediately
fingers
mindlessly takes your hand immediately and starts going, okay, so the leg bone is connected to like just immediately starts going into all of the bones that she painstakingly put together. And you two walk across campus. I'm gonna haunt your dreams right now. Give me a perception check.
Hello? Please. God's above.
Sir, you can't just introduce a role like that.
Why would
So
you say it
fucking
like
rude.
that?
Yeah, really.
God, I can't do math.
Give me the numbers, I'll tell you.
19 plus 8.
27.
27.
Yes.
I love you so much. This is
I
not
don't like-
high enough.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear Okay, cool.
You have a
It
nice
isn't
stroll
high enough.
across campus. It's very cute and nice and fun.
No, it's great. I'm actually I'm a-
27's not high enough.
I'm gonna haunt your dreams. 27 isn't high enough. Good night.
Jeez.
I'm actually
Good night, Ray. Thank you so
telling-
much for watching the show.
Thank you for watching Strix U Legacy Pack.
I like hear something in the distance, and I'm sitting here telling Nora, yeah, so like it's really hard. And she's like trying to loosen her grip on the sword, and she's like,
I can just take it from you. I can just
no.
hold on.
I feel like I need to hold it.
Okay. All right. All of our groups are going to converge on the house party at this moment. I would love for both Anaya and Lamar to tell me what they look like and what their costumes are as they enter. You open the door, everyone goes, "What?" as you enter in.
Lamar can go first.
The
Okay.
whole-
I was gonna let you.
Lamar doesn't see anything wrong. Like Lamar did no wrong.
I don't know what I did wrong. I gave you the book. I don't
Nothing.
know what. I'm sorry that I rolled
Literally
dice
nothing.
in this dice game. Lamar has come as a non-licensed character. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I am just like a. I think the closest thing they would say is like the Grossus Oberon.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly wearing my clothes. So I have on like harem pants and like the big open like tunic, if I had an undershirt underneath. And then just like a bunch of body glitter. I think when I get to the party I have dancing lights going. So
yeah. Just like dancing around you.
But Lamar you also looks pretty much the same as you last saw them. 6 feet tall, I think that's what I said before.
Yes, something like that.
Long locks. I think they're down for the party. No shoes. Yeah, pretty much the same.
Amazing. Anaya, what do you look like?
Anaya lets Lamar go first so that she can make a grand entrance as she walks in. The big titty goth girlfriend of your dreams. Like Anaya usually, Anaya's uniform is very Regency core, if you will, like big lantern sleeves and like corsets and dresses and stuff. So this is just like skin tight black leather top with like the pentagram cut out, little skirt with just like the highest platform boots. Like Anaya's like a solid, I think we said like 5'3", 5'4". She's brushing 6 foot right now. She's got her like white braids sectioned off into 2 pigtails. She usually has like white box braids and they're just like in 2 kind of loose pigtails. And she's got this big black witch's hat with enough space for her horns to poke through because she does have like the traditional ram horns. Her tail is like swishing behind her, and I think that's also all of her gold jewelry is like swapped out for like black, and there's like black chains hanging off her tail, just like truly here to be a classic witch. Because I'm not gonna give you a licensed character, Lexi.
Thank you.
You're
Look,
welcome.
I am not.
You're
I am
welcome.
playing 100% a character that is a real person in D&D
No,
lore.
You
I
are. You
What do
are.
I am
You
playing.
are.
I am.
Yeah.
I
I
say
am
Shuri, and I fucking stand by
No,
it.
I
I'm
am
making
playing-
every black person in real life canon in this bitch.
I am the legendary mythic adventurer, the Black Panther, who is a
hate
King
Tabaki
T'Challa, who
Tabaki
is
monk,
walking around right now in the
who is
world.
alive and well. May their soul rest. Oh wait.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
CJ.
I mean, agreed. But
Don't
They
make
just
me
made
cry.
Lex so sad.
I didn't mean.
No, okay, Anaya walked in, titties breasting breastfully. Like, I don't fucking know.
Good night. This is where Soleil dies. I'm done.
Packing up really
Like,
in y'all.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
like-
I had to course correct so hard to get us
did.
back on track.
Thank you. God damn. How am I supposed to think of anything else? So
When Anaya walks in, Dante just yells, "Nice titties, Anaya."
Dante's trying to get his ass beat.
Dante does not do anything.
What
to
if we
get his
just
ass
jump?
beat.
What if we
I
just jump?
literally
I literally think Anaya would just roll her eyes and just, "Hi, Dante," and she like walks in.
Oh my gosh.
But that's her motherfucking bestie, so it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Anaya. You know, yeah, Lamar, where are you headed to?
I'm trying to figure out if Nora's here yet, so that's who I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I realize Austin knows not, but that's who I was looking for.
No, you all enter like at the same time. Your anatomically correct rat girlfriend is there. Partner is there.
Wow. Is it a rat now?
It's like a mouse.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, those are
Mice and
different.
rats
They are different.
Oh, they
but,
are different.
and she
Duh.
cares about the difference.
Duh.
She
I as a
does care
DM.
about the difference.
She really does. No, it is your anatomically correct mouse girlfriend is there. Okay, so you kind of go over and talk to her. Anaya, where are you going? As you do, you've walked in, you have your costume on, but you do have this like book.
Yeah, I do think like as we had been walking, Anaya, I don't know if the twins walked with us. I do think like Anaya made a point to be like, yeah, there's a party, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if the twins walked with us. Whether they did or didn't, Anaya has been flipping through this book, trying to read it.
Dear God. Make me an intelligence check. So just D20 plus intelligence modifier, yeah.
20 plus intelligence. And it's not like history or anything. It's just straight intelligence.
You can do history.
Okay.
The bargain.
Guidance is gone. I'll admit, guidance is gone.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. If it's a history check, that's a 16 plus 8.
24. Okay. With the 24, you kind of look through and you are not aware of whatever language this book is written in. But what you do recognize is this language is full of, it's not runes, but if it is an alphabetic language, like if it does have an alphabet of some sort, it is these like deeply carved crescent moons at different angles that create sentences. Like they are creating like little phrases across the page. You're not sure how to read this. You're not sure where the sentence starts, where it ends. Is there a sentence in this language? What is syntax, semantics, on and on and on. You just know that this is not a language that you can read. And you read, do you speak Draconic?
I speak Common, Infernal, Primordial, shout out my bestie, and Giant.
This seems like some ancestor of Primordial and some other language. Like something else. But it seems ancient as hell. And it was in a dragon's house. So you're not really sure exactly how those things coincide. But you do know someone who can translate for you.
Okay. Can I go find that person? Are they at the party?
Yeah, I think you know exactly who you're gonna go find.
Okay, cool. yeah, I'm gonna go look for my silver quill bestie, my only silver quill bestie at this moment in time.
You walk around the party, you lace through people. You get to the kitchen, and there stands Mina. Mina is dressed in a. You see that she is dressed. How is Mina dressed? I think Mina is dressed like a scarecrow. We'll say like a very like terrifying, but also like very lacking costume of a scarecrow with like hay. And you see she's like pulling like hay out of her hair and like trying to move it. It's like seems very itchy. But she also seems to be taking like a flask and like pouring something into her drink. And just like kind of back to the party, back to you as you walk in, and just seems to be like taking a second from the party.
I think I'm gonna read the room. I think like I was gonna go up and do something kind of like ridiculous and silly and try to like, joke around with her. But I think I'm gonna read the room a bit more. Go up and just, hey, babe, how's your head? How's your heart?
Annoyingly, it's just, oh my god, it's so loud in there. It's extremely loud.
Do you want to go somewhere else?
Where else is there to go in this house? I feel like I haven't been in here in forever.
Well, Soleil and I have a room.
That's true. I should be okay. I should just like, I'll be fine. She takes a drink. She's just like, how are you doing? What are you doing in here instead of out there?
Well, I was looking for my friend, my very best friend.
Interesting. That is what you call me when you need something. So, what do you need?
Now, Mina, we have plenty of time together. That's just for fun. Coffee? I don't go for you when I need something for you. We just have coffee.
We do just have coffee. You don't call me like your bestie or anything like that when we're drinking coffee.
Maybe I should change that. You are my coffee bestie.
What do you need?
That big, beautiful brain of yours.
Okay.
Take her down.
Yeah. What's up?
Only. I don't want to ask too much of you.
I would love to fucking read something right now, or to like be using my brain in the slightest. That would be kind of fun for me at this moment. So, please.
Then I have, and I pull out this fucking massive, giant, thick ass book, and I drop it on the counter. I've got the thing for you.
Her face lights up like a kid in a candy store. She's like,
don't ever, ever, ever tell me that we are not besties.
Okay. I can touch it, right? Like I can open it.
Oh, touch it. All you want.
Oh, fuck. I feel like I need gloves. This looks old.
I mean, we're in the kitchen, right? I feel like we have gloves.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Rubber?
Yeah, listen, somebody's always cooking hot food, so we put the gloves. No. Somebody's always cooking hot food, and you put gloves on so then you don't get the oil from the seeds all over your fucking fingers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a pro tip.
You do that. She grabs a set of gloves and immediately goes to work kind of reading through this. She's like, okay. Huh. She flips a page.
Yeah? Talk to me, Mina.
I have, like, good news? And I have, like, bad news.
Okay, I love one of those.
Which one?
I'm gonna keep positive. I love good news. Is it really that bad? What's the bad news?
Let's find out. Bad news, I can't read this book. Good news, I know someone who can.
Okay. You know what? That is not that combination. I love it. I really do.
here's where the good news turns into bad news. You also know somebody who can read this book.
I fail to see how that's bad news if I know the person.
You very intimately know the person who is able to read this book. I don't know how else to put this.
I mean, listen. Like the last half of sophomore year.
Okay, yeah, it's all a blur. I know.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah. And so like is it from that period of time?
A little bit before.
We're talking AG times? Are we talking AG times?
It's
I mean
Grayson,
VG. I'm sorry.
I know you don't want to hear. I know you don't want to hear his name.
It's fine.
Like,
It's fine.
Yeah, like we did an internship over the summer with Shadrix, and I took on certain languages, and he took on other languages, and this is like the language of the fucking founder dragons. I don't know how you got this, but like I can't read this, and this is kind of his specialty.
But he can't. Oh, it's his specialty. The language of the founding. Wow. Yeah. That's so him. That's so good for him. Wow. He's so smart.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure how you plan on getting this to him.
I mean, I'll just go. Listen, I'll just hit him up on his crystal. I will swing by. I'll just swing by his dorm, or no, I shouldn't go to his dorm. We'll meet at the Biblioplex. Yeah, we'll meet at the Biblioplex.
Anaya, did he like not tell you?
Tell me what?
Grayson doesn't go here anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
Grayson, he dropped out of Strixhaven the end of summer.
Nobody drops out of Strixhaven. What are you talking about, Mina?
He dropped out. I mean, he has his own reasons as to why, but like we did our internship with Shadrix, and we had a little send-off party. And
so, reasons like what? Like what kind of reasons does Grayson Wildemere, big man on campus, have from running away? Like, what could the reasons? Is there like? Is it not like a what? Is it like a who?
Okay, two things. One, he doesn't go by Grayson Wildemere anymore. And two, it's not you. That's what you're asking. And I know that's what you're asking. It's not a who.
No,
if anything, it's who he was. It's not. He would tell you himself. But
he wouldn't tell me shit, Mina. He hasn't talked to me since like winter quarter.
I don't think that's on purpose.
It's not on purpose? Like what? Like I didn't sit here and after everything that happened with the trial try to talk to him, okay? A lot happened and there was a lot to work through and I tried.
Yeah. I'm not here to make any judgments about how anyone treated Grayson, because I'm the last person that should. But that last summer, he kind of... There's a lot more going on than you know. And if you want to figure out anything about this book, you're gonna need to talk to him. And I'm not going to do it for you, because I also think it would be helpful for him to tell you to your face why he had to leave.
I don't see how that's helpful. I don't see how that's supposed to help me in any meaningful way. You know, I'm doing great,
I know.
Nina.
I know. You are. So you have to trust me when I say that this will be helpful. You're absolutely doing great, and your friends are absolutely doing great, and everyone's doing absolutely fucking great. You hear that all year long. But I think we both know that the second that we actually look at ourselves, I don't know. I think one day we're all going to look back and realize we're not as great as we think we are. And it won't be today. She takes a drink. Sure as hell won't be tomorrow. But I think Grayson just got ahead of it. And honestly, sometimes I wish that were me. But this place is a little too big, too... It's a lot. And I... No one just drops out. But Grayson did.
Sounds like you ran away. But I shouldn't be saying this to you. I'm sorry to put you in this position.
You should be saying it to him, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you his name. I'm going to give you the school you could find him at. And you go there and you have him read this goddamn book. And if anything, you can ask him yourself why he ran away. But I promise you it's more complex than you think.
Okay. What name is he using now, and where can I find him?
She starts to write down a name, and she slides it over to you. Gives you the name of the academy. It's a very local community college that's kind of like, it's on the surface.
The surface?
You have to take, you are going to, I'm sorry, Anaya, but you're going to have to commit to going through the teleportation circle to get to the surface if you want to see this man. As
not
you're
literally jumping through hoops to go see a man.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. As you are so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 30 minutes. We have 30 minutes. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did see the hour. I did see the hour mark. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we have to get to the final scene. What is everyone else doing at this party as this scene is happening? Like, the scene is going on in the kitchen. What is everyone doing?
I mean, I go talk to Nora if you want it to be a scene, it can be, but that's what I go do.
Yeah, absolutely. Nora is actually looking for you as you are looking for her. And she just says,
perfect. Hey, Chief, how's it going? And I give her I give them a peck on the cheek.
Yeah, she gives you a kiss right on back on the cheek. And she reaches out and holds your shoulders. She moves you over to the side and looks and is like,
what? Is
so,
everything okay with him?
Listen,
okay
so,
with him?
yeah, also, really nice costume. Sorry, I just wanted to say that before you started. You look very nice.
No, you do too. You got the bones right.
Thank you. Someone gets it. Listen, you know, like, remember that person that we talked about that, like, not everyone knows about, that, like, your eyes do the thing, and, like, the lady whose eyes do the thing, and...
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna stop beating around the bush. I just ran into your mom.
You want to go to my
And-
room?
Yeah, I just think that would be so much better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go up. Yeah.
And you both go up the stairs. You get to a comfortably silent room. Can you describe to me what Lamar's room looks like?
Lamar's room looks like as if they did not live in a house with people, but as if it is a studio apartment. Like they don't leave a lot.
Different movie entirely.
Different movie. It looks like a studio apartment. It has like green and white finishings in terms of like furniture, plants, big loft style bay window on the side. There's a little kitchenette, like very much like that sort of thing. I think the thing that stands out the most, besides like a boho chic apartment kind of vibe, is there is like a piano in the corner.
Amazing.
Is like the thing that stands out the most that Lamar had brought in here before anyone else moved in.
Yeah. Nora walks over to his piano and kind of sits down, facing away from it, but also leaving space for you to take a seat next to her.
Yeah, I just sit down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. I don't go to Prismari, so it's not worried about it.
Yeah. Like, you're not worried about her being on campus?
I mean, it's a big campus.
It's
Why
not that
did you-
big.
It's big enough. I don't like go to your classes or anything.
I know, but it's like homecoming. Like, everyone's gonna be everywhere, and also everyone's gonna be everywhere all in one place. It's there's no way they're not gonna figure out.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's no way. I would say there's a high probability.
And do you really want to take that chance?
No, probably not.
Like, everyone else, I understand, like, you know, nobody really knows that I have, like, family and where my family's from and, like, all that kind of stuff. Nobody really knows any of that kind of stuff
No, I
outside
get
of
it,
just,
yeah.
like, you know, Amy and yeah. But, like, everyone else, they're all friends, you know? Like, they'll figure it out. That's the whole point of friendship, you know? They'll figure it out in time. I'm just simply worried the fact that, like, we're in a relationship with someone who doesn't know. And
No, it's like I don't know. It's like when like first, second date. It's like then the ball gets away. Yeah, no, I should. Yeah, no, okay,
yeah.
No, she had a thing tonight at a different. She had a gig at a different part. I should go.
Yeah.
Should I go? Yeah.
I mean, I think you should. I mean, I think you should. Just. She trusts us, you know?
I have a really bad problem with, like, really. Parties on the first day. I have a really bad track record for parties at this school.
Yeah. We're all kind of keeping a red flag around just in case, like,
I
something
wasn't
happens.
gonna go. I was gonna, like, not go to any parties because it seems like it's, like, an omen at this point.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this'll.
Well,
man.
well, the good thing is, well, we're all here with you, and no one's getting broken up at this party, so, right?
No, that's
No one's
good.
getting-
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No repeats.
No. What? No, we're
I
fine now.
Don't.
Yeah.
I was a joke.
How'd it go,
I-
Ham, with this?
What?
How's it, Fammy? How's it going?
She's like fucking phenomenal.
that's
She's great. She makes a
Well,
lot of swords.
You didn't tell her, right?
What? No, I haven't
You-
told
okay.
anyone.
Okay.
You already know. Nobody knows. They can't read me. Nobody. They couldn't even tell that I
I should also talk
Nope.
to Amethyst.
who she was. Yeah, you should, because I think if no one can read me, Amethyst can read me, and absolutely knew that I knew who I was talking about, or knew who I was talking to.
Well, I'll find Aurora first,
Okay.
and then
Do you want me to
I'll-
tell Amethyst? No, you should do it. You should.
No, it seems like a me thing.
Cool.
Sorry to put you in the middle of it, though. Just tell. I mean, I doubt she'll ask you to tell.
Yeah.
She's smart-ish, so.
Well, good luck with that. If
Yeah,
you
cool.
need anything, you know I'm here.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
enjoy the part. The bone, no, really, the bones are. You can fade out me talking about the bones.
Yeah,
Great.
y'all immediately talk about the bones. It's a phenomenal thing. Let's like flash to each person as we close out what this party kind of looks like. Let's start with. I would love to start with Soleil. Where is Soleil at the end of this party?
I think for the most part, Soleil is their typical self, turning up as usual. Um, I think they spent a good majority of the night with Jay in some capacity.
Yeah.
But when they see Anaya kind of like go off over into the kitchen after that entrance,
Yeah.
they kind of go over to see her.
To see Anaya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or try to find her if she's still in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or go ahead.
Let's like flash to everyone else and we'll come back to this scene because I think it'd be perfect to come back to this one. Amethyst, where are you at? In this party. Come on, Black Panther.
You know where Amethyst is.
In her room.
In her room. She just got out the shower.
You put the mask on for a solid 15 minutes and took it off and took a shower.
No, legitimately. Well, Amethyst was like covered in sweat.
Yeah.
So Amethyst kind of put the mask on. I think Amethyst walked in. What's the word I'm looking for? Like specifically after Anaya, behind Anaya, so that no one would notice that Amethyst has come in. And I think that allowed like Nora to go to Lamar, and Amethyst is like, I'm gonna go take a fucking shower. Y'all can leave. And I think she's coming like right out of the shower. It was mostly like to rinse off because she does want to hang out with people to a degree. And she's like just kind of like in her room staring at this sword.
Yeah.
The sword hilt, basically, and kind of like puts it on the wall for presumably tomorrow. And I think go ahead.
Make me a wisdom save.
Oh God. Oh God. She's good at those, but I also rolled like, oh God, whoa, I did not realize it was that high.
Yeah, it is.
8, 14, but I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers, baby.
So true.
You stare at the sword, and it's just like, it's almost like that specific feeling. You know when you like are looking at your room and it is a complete mess and you have absolutely no idea where to start, so it completely blanks itself out in your mind and you're just like, I'm gonna go to the kitchen instead. I'm just not gonna be 100%. Here. You're looking at this thing and it's almost like a physical representation of like your duty, your commitment, your failure, and this challenge rings in your ears. I think that you are closer to stress as you on your stress scale. I think that you are closer to stress as you stare at this thing and think about how you can even possibly start on it. It griefs you. Yeah, go ahead.
She just kind of looks at this fucking and I guess I'll also describe Amethyst's room. I think she has like black walls with like a lot of gold linings. Yeah. Probably subconsciously like really close to the Strix colors. But then you get like these, it's kind of like also with white paintings. Maybe she has like, I think there's sometimes she like tries to paint on the wall, not to be good at it, but to like, in an attempt to de-stress. Yeah. And she has like white curtains that allow that light to really wake her up in the morning. But I think she kind of walks over to another wall that has a lot of like holes, not holes as if she kiled it, but like, well, I'll explain. She just kind of sticks this sword into the wall. Just great. Another challenge. Cool. I thought I was done with that last year.
Yeah. And the image of the sword and like sticking this whole image just settles. I think we're gonna zoom over to where Dante is as well. Where's Dante?
Dante, after he made that comment to Anaya, it was very much he made it in passing, like he was walking past her. Mm-hmm. He excused himself completely and went to his room. And he's pretty much inside of his room. It looks like, that underground workshop that Tony Stark had in the first Iron Man movie. Yeah. It looks his room looks exactly like that. Like it's a very basic room, but there is an area that's quartered off with like see-through plexiglass, like see-through glass, and that is where he does all of his work. And you see him inside of that room, and there is like this loud, aggressive music is just blaring in that space. And you see him hunched over, like looking at the table. He's like working on something at the table. It looks like he's working what looks like it could be another firearm that he's making. And he's just working away at it. And then he stops. He grabs a firearm and just shoves it to the side in just a fit of rage. And then he grabs this long piece of parchment paper and unrolls it on the table, and he starts sketching out something feverishly, like he is sketching out the designs of something. And when he's doing it, there's a lot of anger and emotion as he's just drawing this out on the page.
I want you to also make me a wisdom save.
Oh, I critted, so that's a natural 20. So that is a 21.
You are sketching out and making these plans. Teardrops fall onto your sketches. These feverish things you will come back to later and hopefully remember what was originally intended by their design. You throw yourself into your next design, and as you are standing hunched over this art, just like putting your entire self into the sketch, as your arm, you just like move quick movements, these like an architect and how they sketch structures and forms. You start doing that with this firearm, and as your hand comes into view, it moves like a regular hand, and then it goes back out as you make a huge arc to create like some sort of measuring line. And as you do that with like what is it called, makes a perfect circle,
compass.
Yes, the compass. It goes out of your sight, and as it comes back in sight, it is flesh, muscle, fur, exaggerated bones, claws, talons, piercing this pencil as it presses into the parchment and creates this marking. And as it comes into view, you hold back this changing thing about yourself, but your hand stalls, and the pencil shatters, and all there is teardrops on these markings. But you grab another pencil and you get back to work.
Yeah, he's just feverishly just sketching away.
Yeah. Jay has a dream, but that's for later. For now, Soleil, Anaya, you two find each other.
I think Soleil, once they peep Anaya, they kind of like step off over to the side, like out of like her peripheral, walks up behind her, winds up, and just smacks the shit out of her ass. Like, right behind her.
Which I will say, I think is absolutely okay. That is definitely how they greet each other in parties. That is like pre-established consent. Just putting that out there.
Just putting that out there. It's just how besties greet each other. That's it.
Yeah. I do think Anaya was just downing an entire drink, and she kind of like, ooh, as that happens, and just turns around and is just like, bitch.
What's up, bitch? And like passes over their gauntlet to hit the J that is ever slowly burning out of the top of it.
It's like this huge gauntlet with a small tiny
It's like the
Tiniest
joint sticking up from the top, and the mouthpiece is like right off over to the side.
I
Just
know,
like,
I know,
hit
I
it.
know you got Dante way too fucked up. I know you got Dante way too high and then asked him to build up for you. And that's fine because when no one else has me, you have me. And I'm just gonna
Always.
lean and take just a big old hit. Just like
So they just like slinks their arm like over Anaya's shoulder, and like genuine and like looks at her for a bit, but then looks
Yeah.
at her.
Make Anaya deception, Soleil perception.
I'm gonna fail it.
You're gonna
And
fail
she
it.
said to fail it.
Okay, that's 21.
21.
Damn,
You
bitch.
look
Oh
over.
my God.
You see Anaya's social security number
Blood type,
reflected in
the
her
whole
eyes.
nine.
No, so you see someone who is genuinely troubled and worried and heartbroken and sad and trying to cover it with the party lights, the drinks, the everything, even with a smile that does not reach her eyes. But before you can say anything, you see one of the twins has made it to the party. Both of them walk up. Soleil, you probably know them from around campus. Alias and Azura. They're both dressed as like twin bandits. That's what they're dressed up as. And you see it's like not a very cheap costume either. It's like a very well-made bandit costume. Azura kind of walks up to you all and says, "Hello, everyone. How's the night going?"
Because Soleil got that 21, I think Soleil sees something that has happened many, 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 many times over the past couple of months, which is this true, like, probably on a disturbing level, heartbreak that just gets buried under so much bravado and single-handed focus of like, there's a distraction.
Yeah.
And Anaya like rolls her shoulders back and leans on her bestie. So they're just, posing like the two baddies that they are. Hi, welcome to the party.
Thank you for inviting us. And Alias is like, yeah, thanks for the invite. Is Lamar here? And just looks to both of you.
Anaya's gonna tick that one, scratch that one off the list.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Soleil peeps
Actually,
it
you know
and
what?
just points
You're so
upstairs.
right. I don't know. I'm going to move in between the twins, kind of like link my arm through one and then through the other, and just, I don't know, but we can go look for him. I'm sure they're around here somewhere.
Yeah. Azura tells you, I would love that. And also, I heard that you have a special talent.
Oh, I have a few.
Interesting. Then I think that I would love to see this talent of yours. I've heard you read people.
Oh, that talent. Yes. Yeah, no. I am the best tarot reader on campus.
Well,
Yes,
I would love to see that
Humbly.
in action.
Yeah, so I like tap Alias's arm. Why don't I show you? And I like kind of do the mental math of like, I know Amethyst snuck in behind me, which means that Nora was here. And just, if I know Lamar, they're probably in like a lounge area, but that'll be on my way. And I turn towards the other twin, past the stairs up to where the rest of our rooms are. So, two birds, one stone. I'll show you which way to go.
Okay. You two start up the goddamn steps.
I was gonna say
Alias
real
in the
quick.
right direction.
Yes.
But yes, please.
what I was gonna say, as that's happening, and you kind of like slink into normal stature, I think Soleil genuinely looks at you, Anaya, and just cocks one eyebrow up, but then just smirks and then walks over to you, just like leans down into your ear and goes, "You can have the room tonight. I'll sleep at Jay's. It's fine."
Sorry, y'all.
Thank you so much.
And they just kind of like wink and like nudge their shoulder just over too, and it's just like, listen. And I think like as they're walking upstairs, so like you probably, if you're listening, you probably hear Soleil, and they're like, "I always say the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody new." So, or somebody.
You two go up these steps. You go up the spiral staircase carved of wood. This is not your house. Like you did not create this house. These are steps that have been traversed before by many Strixhaven students before you. But right now, it is just the three of you. As you walk up the stairs, Azura specifically says, I mean, I specifically would prefer if we could like do this tarot reading thing by ourselves, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like point the other twin in the direction they need to go.
Yeah. Lamar, later on you hear a knock on your door, but he parts ways. You go higher into the tree, the two of you. What does your room look like as you step in?
Yes. Okay. Imagine if a French palace was taken back by nature. There's just like a lot of like very dramatic arches and furniture, and everything's very ornate, but there are plants everywhere.
Yeah.
And there is like one section in particular that has, it's more of like a seating area of just like cushions, and there's all these shelves, but as you look, there's like crystals and sacred objects and small statues and tarot cards. A lot of the smaller statues are basically pulled from like the shared culture that I think all of the Strix U people have. Like we are a party of very many different like lineages, but I think we all have the same ancestry. So there's a lot of like cultures and figures that come from our shared history around. And
Azura,
through that,
go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and then through that are just like all of these plants that I think Soleil has druid crafted.
I think Azura does not like touch anything, and specifically stays like very respectfully like admiring the room. It's pretty dark in here, probably just like candlelit or whatever. And she just says, "This is a beautiful place that you live in."
Make yourself comfortable, please.
Sure. Where is there to sit?
I think since this is a reading, Anaya's gonna pat like a spot directly in front of her.
Azura takes a seat, making like direct eye contact with you, and just says, "Well, how much does it cost?"
Consider it a favor since you helped me in the Mar.
All right. Why don't we just say I owe you one?
I think that's fair.
So what do you need for this kind of thing? I'm not used to this.
Just close your eyes and take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, imagine that it's your entire spirit opening. Some people see it as a dam breaking or a door opening, whatever works for you. Pick an imagery that works, and then do it over and over again. And I think Anaya takes out her deck and starts to like shuffle her cards through.
Okay.
And ask me a question. What are you looking for? What do you need in this moment?
I think I need confirmation.
Confirmation. That's a big ask.
Maybe like validation? Is a better word for it? I think I just need to know if my family, specifically my mom, will ever be proud of me.
Questions of time and inevitability are hard, but I'll do what I can. And Anaya's gonna start just like shuffling her cards, letting them drop. I mean, it's not really she's letting them drop, honestly. I think there are certain cards that seem to leap out of the deck in response to this question.
There are certain cards that like leap out of the deck. What I will say is that as she's talking, she is gonna open. I'm gonna tell me no. I'm gonna open my. No. She's gonna open her eyes, and she looks at you, and she looks at the proximity. Is she wrong to read in this moment? Any
we're
sort
very
of
close. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Is there a possible smooching coming? Is this happening? I think that she'll just say. Oh, go ahead.
I think Anaya. I don't think any more cards are jumping out, so I think Anaya's just like there with this deck in hand and looking at her and just. Yes.
I think I also want confirmation that you would want to kiss me as much as I would want to kiss you.
You don't need cards for that.
And she just smiles, and she's gonna,
she's
gonna literally
we kiss.
Yeah. Anaya, make me an
That's
Arcana
my best
check.
friend.
She a real make me an Arcana check.
Con check?
Arcana.
Oh, an Arcana check.
Yes.
I thought you said a Constitution check. I was like, babe.
Okay, so, and then Constitution check. Or press stay.
Okay. All right. That is a 12.
A 12. Anaya, you go in and you have a very nice little kiss and make out session.
Yeah.
Your eyes open for a second, and Cooper, no. There is a full moment where you go and she is like, you separate, and she just like, I don't want her to touch her hair. But she'll fix her own hair. And she leans back in, and your eyes land.
Well, I mean, wait, really quick.
Yeah.
How intense is this makeout? Because if it's intense enough, I think Anaya would take her hands and like put them on the back of her own neck.
It's getting intense. Your eyes do dart to the cards that dropped on the ground, and you see familiar cards, but you see one card that is not familiar to you.
Okay.
The consistency of your deck, the art, it is all picked out. It was created. It's a manifestation of your spirit, of the future, of the past, of this openness that you feel when you do this, and the power that you create and pull on when you cast spells. This card is pitch black. On it is a woman, faceless, wild hair. You see she has her hand out. On this pitch black card, you see obsidian skin. Has her hand out, and she holds a small baby. The weight is positioned. It is almost like sideways to you, and what you see is two flashes of meaning. You see a woman holding a baby out to a pit of vipers. Like upside down, offering it as a sacrifice. But also on this other side, you see a woman holding up the baby, almost crowning its royalty among these vipers. A small little scroll unfurls on the card that reads the despot. And all of this is happening in like a split second, and when you look back at Azura to catch her eyes, and you don't make eye contact with her because half of her face and the rest of her body seems to be covered in this like melting static, melting
Okay.
void, and all around you turns to black and white as she sits in front of you, one eye open and a smile still, just like, are you okay? I can back up. I'm sorry.
Who are you? What are you? I think like Anaya does kind of like scramble back a bit.
Azura will back up. What? Did I do anything? I'm sorry.
Does it flash back? Like, is it still this
It's still
half
like this half-melted void faced being. It still looks like Azura, but like as if someone had melted half of her body.
Are you okay?
And as you ask that, you hear and feel the flames of fire and that crashing against the house. Everyone hears this. This is not just Anaya hearing this. This crash is what brings you back to reality, blinks you back into color, where you see Azura in front of you, like stabilizing herself as the base and the trunk of the house erupts into fire. In the windows, anyone who is in the general common area, you see this you see this like bright incineration, just fire and flame out front of the windows as something has erupted your house. Like something is fireballing your house.
I have would I be outside? I said I was leaving. I don't know when this is happening in timeline wise.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
we'll
like
say
on the
this
stairs
is like,
to leave.
huh?
But I didn't know where
you're
I
walking
would
down the stairs to leave. We can say you're one of the first people outside. Sam, you look like you were also moving to do something.
Yeah, Soleil immediately, I think, once they see the flames, are like outside shape water.
Yeah.
Like just kind of running around frantically along the base.
And you step outside, and the base of the tree is like pitch black, like where this fire has just like hit. And in front of you, and everyone else who decides to rush out, you all see this like gigantic sludge, corrupted ooze thing, and it seems to be centered around like this fractal at its center. It seems to be glitching in space, turning different colors, and you see it turns red, and a fireball begins to loom in its hands and grow, and it just makes like, as it steps through, you see small, tinier versions of it walking around out front of your house, and you see the provost, Simone Adrasta, laying unconscious on the ground behind this thing. And that is where we're going to pick up